Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tome of Knowledge. I paused for a second because I forgot to unmute our mics, so we're just kind of like waiting on me to do stuff. Welcome to our episode tonight. Our wonderful topic brought to you by moves like Jagger from the GGN crew, and we're also joined by Virtual Spectre. Our topic tonight are dream characters that we've never gotten to play. But first, a word from our sponsor, us. Go check out our YouTube. Go check out our YouTube. Support us there. Go subscribe to us. Become a member if you would like. We're trying to get two more. I almost said memotes, but they're emotes.
Memotes.
two more emotes that we have lined up that are the little flexy emotes. Also have a Patreon if you want to check that out at Casters and Cantrips, where you get early access to all our podcast formats, which are the episode, the Out of Combat, as well as the early access to the Tome of Knowledge as well. So you should go do that. And another great thing would be our Discord, which is also at Casters and Cantrips, or just discord.gg/Casters and Cantrips. We have a couple of sections in our Let's Chat, one of which is called Tome of Knowledge Topics, where if you want us to talk about something, if you have any burning D&D questions or questions about your campaign or your characters, whatever, throw them in the chat. We can address them there. We can address them on the episode. And there's also out of combat questions. So if you're deep into the lore of Campaign 2 and you want to know some stuff, throw them in there and we can address it during those exclusively YouTube and podcast episodes. Speaking of podcasts, world premiere. I don't know why that popped in my head, but
Yes.
I can't wait to see the one from last session, Out of Combat. I want to hear what you guys talked about.
I don't remember.
We were kind of all over the place, actually.
Yeah, it was good.
Whenever time we have Max on for Out of Combat, we always ask him DM questions.
Yeah, I know. I'm bombarding over dodging player questions like crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's all good. But if you are a podcast people, you can go find us on all of them. I don't have the list pulled up, so I know I'll probably miss some, but it's on Google Podcast. YouTube has podcasts now is on its own. Apple was one of them, like Pocket Cast, Overcast, Cast something, and then something cast. there's all of them. But anyway, we'll say hi to everybody here that's hanging out with us. Hope you're having a fantastic time, like Zeus, Kaya, hi Bun's in chat as well, and Village, and Fiona Var. Hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, hi Richard.
Everyone's having a good Monday.
He works with me.
My Monday was just like focus mode all day, trying to solve problems that I didn't solve. So my day was a failure. No, I'm kidding.
Can't say what my day was because Richard's here and he'll tell on me.
Oh, just be vague.
I researched a lot of video games today. Is how that went down.
Kaya,
A lot of game research.
Yeah.
Question for Kaya, since you're an iHeartRadio podcast people. Is our podcast on iHeartRadio? Because I don't remember that on the list. But if it's not, I'd like to know because I can try and remedy that.
Oh.
Also, I found out today. Oh, that's why. Hold on, I'm gonna remedy this. Remedy this? I cannot today, guys. My good friend Deja Vu Darkness told me, hey, you have like free memberships to give away, but I don't know how to do it or where they are.
Oh yeah, on the YouTube side.
I don't think we're on there. Honest, I don't know how to search.
Yeah,
Let me see.
my YouTube streaming knowledge is like zero. So
Yeah,
wish
I don't
could
know.
help.
I'll have to ask him because it's telling me to pay money for it, and that's not what he told me.
Oh,
So who knows? But we are just a few memberships away from getting new emotes. So if you want to come over and hang out, I will say that there are plenty of ways to support us monetarily. And my favorites, from least favorite to most favorite, are Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon for reasons that Moobs has told me I'm not supposed to talk about. But
yeah, I don't know the rules on that, but yeah.
But there are reasons for that. Anyway,
But it's all going to support the stream. So if you like
yes,
what we do, you like the maps that Max makes, the music, all that stuff is paid for by your generosity. So we
yeah.
appreciate it, and it all helps.
And I will especially say too that with the hard-earned dollary dues that have been given to us from the channel, I've upped the music game. There was a place, and I don't have to shout them out, but it was nice because it's not included in their rules. But Monument Studios had major blowout sale over Black Friday weekend, and I got 35 gigs of music from them for like 50% off or something like that. So
We're gonna be jamming during the campaign.
well, some of those tracks were premiered on episode 24, which I won't spoil because this isn't the channel, this isn't the show for that. But episode 24, where the episode before you got back, it was from your vacation, where those were premiered. A lot of music to go through, but anyway, the topic of the evening: dream characters that you didn't get a chance to play. So I will let either one of you go first. You can rock paper scissors if you like, if you don't know, but
since it's Moves topic, I'd hand the floor to Moves.
Oh,
damn.
Oh.
Right under the bus.
Usually
right under there.
It's my topic, so we're all owners here. So I have two characters that I've always wanted to play, but never, either the campaign didn't go long enough for me to fully explore the character, or the limitations of the rules or the setting, such as 5th edition. I've always wanted to make a muscle wizard, and where the focus was not intelligence but rather strength, but dipped into intelligence. But 5th edition, this is possible in 3rd edition, but in 5th edition they basically made it impossible, or it's just not, you just can't do it. Yeah, I just wanted to be like a rippling muscle man who casts magic and punch people in the faces with magic.
I'm gonna directly contradict you saying you can't do it in 5th edition, by the way, because I think there's plenty of spells that you can take that don't have saving throws or attack rolls. So you could be a buff support wizard, cast haste on yourself, that kind of stuff.
Well, that's what I mean by the limitations of 5th edition, because you can only have one concentration spell up at a time.
Yeah, that's true.
So, okay, so 3rd edition is just batshit crazy.
Here we go again. He's wacky. It's like a wacky old grandpa back in 3rd edition.
Back in 3rd edition, we came out and we could cash all the buff spells we wanted. But you can stack buffs in 3rd edition, right? So that made it possible for you to be a muscle wizard without even having to dip into strength, because like there's a wild spell, but there's a wizard spell in 3rd edition. How dare you, Village?
Okay, Boomer, jeez.
Basically gives you a fighter's base attack, where I think wizard in 3rd edition, wizard's base attack was scaled every 4th level or something like that. It was like super weak, where the fighters scaled every level. So yeah, it basically gave you that, and you could cast like bull strength, which gave you bonuses to your strength score. There's haste, obviously. You could cast stone skin, so you can have a bunch of durability and take a bunch of hits. So you can use shield, the spell shield, not the actual shield, because there was arcane failure in 3rd edition. So I never had a chance to make that character in 3rd edition. And I was like, oh, I could probably find a way to do it in 5th edition, but it's just not. It is not possible.
This has spawned another idea for a podcast topic of ours, and all I have written down is make a character that doesn't make sense. And I am going to make a muscle wizard for this. Whenever we get around to this topic, I will make a muscle wizard, and you all can make whatever you think doesn't make sense, and we'll compare and contrast. I think that'll be a fun topic.
That'll be fun.
And I checked on Reddit. I was like, "Is it? There's got to be a way. It has to be possible." But what all the comments that I've seen were like, you can just play an Eldritch Knight, and that's the closest you can get to a Muscle Wizard." I was like, that's not what I want, you know?
Yeah. The the
Reddit's
only
not the
other
best
way
place
I could
either.
see to, like, kind of have that for flavor, if nothing else, would be, like, the newer, 4 elements monk. Even though it's not a strength class, you can, like, be just a buff monk that beats people with spells. It's not the same thing, it's not what you're looking for, but
I played that subclass, and it is ass. It is garbage.
I
Like, it
the
is
new
not
one
fun.
isn't the one D&D one is they kinda fixed
Oh,
it,
I haven't
so
checked
So
that one yet. I haven't checked it out. I
the
was gone when you guys covered it.
I've also seen
yeah.
that the way of the ascendant dragon is the better way to do the way of the four elements. I haven't played any of them, but I know that way of the four elements gets shit on quite a bit. So
Oh,
tell
yeah.
us more about your muscle wizard. Did you have any backstory, like a name, like anything picked out, or is it just an idea in the cosmos?
It was just an idea in the cosmos. I didn't really I think, like, the backstory was, he went to wizard school, university,
Mm-hmm.
college, whatever, um, and, all the other wizards made fun of him because he was like a swole
Red
bro.
nose. Oh.
Yeah. He didn't have a red he was a swole bro, and they were like, "Dude, what are you doing at wizard school? You're too buff for this place." And then so he's basically like, "Well, I'm gonna show you guys," and then, basically punch people in the face with magic.
I'm gonna make
That's
this.
as far as I got because I didn't really actually pursue it. It was just like a dream idea in the back of my head, like, "I'm gonna make this character one day, and it's gonna be glorious."
It'll be a character where being called muscles for brains is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. I'll
But
make your
then
dream a reality, Moobs. Don't worry. And that's a good parallel, Frog. By the way, like Beast from X-Men, a
he's more
cerebral
buff man.
swole.
The Hulk?
Does he juice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Village. He juices with Arcana.
just just that weave right in the veins.
Yeah. Um, now, you know what? Maybe I'll do like a creative writing exercise and create this backstory for this muscle wizard that will never come into fruition until we do builds that don't make sense and Max makes it.
I like that topic. I'm not gonna lie.
But
Why
there's a
not?
there which something like in resurfaced the thought of the muscle wizard is an anime that I recently watched was called Mashal. And the premise of the anime is this guy goes to wizard school, but he can't actually cast magic. So he uses his super speed and strength to pretend he's a wizard. I was like,
Oh,
oh man, I want this muscle wizard so bad now. But it would be like all the, I guess maybe it's possible. I don't know. Do wizards or sorcerers get a spell like Shillelagh where druids can cast a staff and use their wisdom score to beat people in the face, basically? Do arcane have
mm,
Mm,
equivalent to that? 'Cause
there
it
will
might be
be
possible.
there will be in one D&D where you can use
Damn it.
your for that cantrip. We talked about that cantrip where you can use your casting ability
yeah.
to do it. But you could just take. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, all you would have is Booming Blade, Green Flame Blade, or whatever it's
If
called.
you're a battlesmith artificer, you can use your intelligence to smack people.
Eh,
Hmm.
there you
Maybe
go.
this
Speaking from
dream can
experience.
go into reality, but in a different way.
Whatever is missing, just make up with flavor, man.
That's what I figured if I were to make this character in 5th edition, it would basically be all flavor.
All right. Challenge accepted. Little later date. At a later date.
I'm I'm kind of in a little bit different position since I have not been playing D&D as long as either of you. So it's been 2 campaigns, the second one being, you know, just my second one.
You
So
did get a
are you gonna
taste.
say
You
something?
did make a third character though.
Well, we've done one shots and stuff too. But what were you gonna say, Max?
A couple things. I would also say that you made 2 additional characters or ideas for this campaign too that got put in the bin, which we won't go too much into them. But also,
Yeah.
I think that you're not so different than every other D&D player in that you have more characters than you have campaigns.
I was thank you. I was actually working my way towards that.
Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say I think I've said it on here before, maybe during our podcast about like character creation or whatnot, where like I'll just see things on TV or in games or whatever, and it'll like spark some inspiration, and I'll try to like pull different concepts into like a character idea and try to say,
Mhm.
what class could it be and what could a backstory be. So one of the ones uh more recently that I had toying around in my brain is a barbarian. Nothing, no weird like muscle wizard type stuff, but it's more of like it would be a fun character depending on how I play it. Because essentially it was barbarian, don't know the subclass, but the backstory would have been at a young age started showing freakish strength from like little kid. So much so that it actually frightened his family enough where they're like, this kid is a freak and he scares us. So they sell him off to like either maybe a gang that runs their town, or maybe some sort of like fighting league or whatever. They just get rid of him. They're like, this kid is like freakishly strong and actually kind of dangerous. And he would just be a normal human. He wouldn't be a jacked like 6'5" bodybuilder or anything like that. He would be like my size as I am now, but just absolute freak strength where everybody looks at him and they're like, "Oh, this guy's nothing." And then they realize they punch him or something, or hit him with a club, and he's just like, "Eh." Shrugs it off. So depending on like how I did the personality, I feel like it'd be such a fun character to be like this unassuming barbarian where they just look like an average person, but in a battle, they just unleash this like ridiculous power. So
Mhm.
it's a character that could show up. I don't know
I-
what the future holds, but
I'll,
it's
I'll say that VS is like, they're more like my size, but what all of you don't know is he's just jacked underneath that sweater.
yeah,
We have no
I know.
idea.
This is actually like a 3XL, and that's how much I'm filling it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm a slender man.
That's spooky.
Yeah, not that slender man. But anyway, like I'll just create little things in my head, and I'll just like think on it the entire day. I just be
Mhm.
like, what? Okay, class could be this, and personality could be this, and so I've got in my brain like a backlog of things like that. So
Mhm. I'm with you.
that's just one of them.
Yeah,
I like that.
that sounds like the character I made for our one shot for Extra Life. But it was such a tight window that I didn't really get to showcase that for my old man barbarian.
You didn't
Yeah, that
even
was tough.
rage.
Yeah.
I didn't even rage. I was so disappointed in myself. And
Oh.
you gave me an opening and I
Mhm.
didn't take it. And I was like, damn it, I should have raged. But
Don't think I never. Don't say I never did anything for you. I gotta edit that, by the way. We have the footage. We have the files, so we can actually put that up on YouTube for posterity. I just need to edit it. I have a feeling it's
Village?
gonna be challenging to edit, but
there's a lot of pies and hot sauce.
a lot of
Village
audio
asked me a
levels.
question.
Yeah,
She asked me what concept you dream to play. I don't know. All of them.
it sounds ominous, like in like Baldur's Gate 3 when you're making character. Like, what do you dream of night? What do you dream of at night?
That's like,
You're like,
I don't know. I also have an idea for like a wizard or sorcerer of some sort that's just like the most unserious person, like the total opposite of what you would think a wizard would be, and they just use their magic to like play pranks on people more than anything. And
Like a shit wizard,
yeah, like a shit
basically.
wizard. I have an idea for that.
Muscle wizards, shit wizards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
All
don't
wizard
know.
campaign. Let's go.
Oops, all wizards. That's entirely possible, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because I played in
You
a
can
game
just
with
run illusion wizard and have a bunch of that for free.
yeah, I played in a game with Zeus. He mentioned the character earlier, but he played a dwarf wizard and just walked around in medium armor because they can. He was a pretty buff wizard.
Yeah. Wait, does that do anything to your spells?
No,
Can't-
because you're proficient in
No?
it.
Oh, because dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah. Shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to
Oh, it
old
was
man
heavy
moves.
armor. You took the feat. That's right. Yeah, heavy armor wizard.
In third edition, I think heavy armor had a 35% spell failure. So every time you cast a spell, you had to roll a D100, and if it was 35 or below, you failed to cast your spell.
That's one thing. Zeus is saying full plate wizard. That's one thing I don't think Eldritch Knight. Again, it all depends on how you flavor it and how you play it. But to me, there's not enough juice in the Eldritch Knight to really fulfill that fantasy of like the frontline battle mage like it's supposed to be.
It's
You
because they're
just-
it's a quarter caster. There's
Yeah.
tiny bits of wizard and mostly fighter in it.
Yeah.
I think Artificer, like Battlesmith, fills that role like frontline caster more than the Eldritch Knight.
That's one of the coolest concepts in a lot of fantasy is that the up close and personal, I'm gonna be on the front lines casting spells at your face type of mage. And I don't know, Eldritch Knight can do that, but it's
Yeah, and I'll say like what you're saying is Eldritch Knight is good, especially at higher levels. I played here's a deep cut for Bun. I played an Eldritch Knight. I filled in on a game that she was playing with some friends of hers. They didn't have enough, so like, hey, can you make a character and be in this one episode? And I made an Eldritch Knight by the name of Devin Gregory, who was kicked out of wizard school because he believed in the magic of crystals and the healing powers of them.
What crystals did you try to hawk?
All of them. he hoarded them all, man. I had a list of like I found a list online of like different properties that each crystal is supposed to heal and like what energies it had, and I would like spout them off and like role play in the campaign. Like, oh, you need this kind of crystal for that.
Oh, you need some tiger's eye to help your circulation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's but I played that guy, so he's not in this list. But it was super funny. But he crushed like with a lot of defensive type spells. But yeah, that was fun. That was a fun time, and it was like a silly campaign. So I based his personality on like West Coast like aloof surfer dude. Like
nice.
Well, silly. It was a very silly campaign. You can't deny that. Anyway, do you want me to talk about my stuff?
Go for it.
So I have a runner up that I'll address because this is the one I want to do for mechanics only. And we kind of fleshed one of them out when we made a character at one point in time, and that was when I made my barbarian rogue multi-class. I would really like to try that out in an actual game just to see, because I think the concept is hilarious, and I just want to see how it does in play. So that's something that I really want to try out of doing a barbarian rogue.
So like raging and stabbing.
Yeah.
Well, with that one barbarian thing they had in 1D&D for a while, I don't know if they changed it out now, but it was like you could use your rage on like a skill check.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
And
can rage
like,
and then stealth.
and like whatever.
You can stealth with strength. You
Yeah.
flex so
Yeah.
hard, no one hears you moving.
But yeah, I would love to play Barbarian Rogue, and I was like, maybe I could do a Bugbear. That'd be kind of fun because they're kind of sneaky but also big. There's tons of possibilities that you could do with that, but that's just like purely mechanics, and I have to find a really good story about it. But go ahead, VS.
For mechanics, I've always liked the idea of a sorcerer, warlock, basically Sorlock, but doing it with the genie warlock. Because genie warlock, you get four different genies to choose from,
Super cool.
and they all have cool spells that come with that. And then for the warlock, something like clockwork or aberrant mind or one of those two that gives you more spells as just a part of the. So not only do you have like a much bigger spell list, if you pick like the stone genie, I don't remember its name, you get things like spike growth, and so and then later genie stuff lets you fly for free, so you could just be like flying around, pushing people with your Eldritch Blast into your spike growth,
Oh
and just
man,
like making meat blenders of everybody, and or you can
nice.
cast web or something and just like push people into webs, or I don't know.
I played a genie warlock in a one shot. It was a Warforged genie warlock named Shikari. It was a fun little play.
Yeah, Genie Warlock seems really fun. Just put people in
Or just go into your genie lounge and hang out for a bit. Like,
yeah.
take a short rest, you know, have some refreshments.
And that's
Does it play-
honestly sorry, Moobs.
I was like, does it play the I Dream a Genie theme song when you're in there?
It depends on what kind of genie you want to do. I don't know. Like, that was Village. What was your one shot? Did you, before I go on, did you have like a mechanics only, or is that your strength wizard kind of folded into that?
Well, the Strength Wizard is like lack of mechanics, really. There's nothing to support it. I guess maybe mechanic. So I always wanted to. I don't think I've ever I've maybe tried uh like a non-evil necromancer, and he has a buddy that he's like his best friend that he's raised, and I guess this is more of like maybe RP mechanic wise, where have to dress him up and disguise the zombie friend and like put like
Like a weekend at
rosemary
Bernie's?
or yeah, basically we could at Bernie's and like put lavender on it to hide the smell, and then
Oh god.
That's cool though.
yeah, I've always wanted to do that warlock where it's just like I only became a warlock or a necromancer to revive my friend,
Hang out with my bro.
to hang out with my bro, and I gotta dress him up. I gotta make him smell good, and like you gotta like if people like talk to him, I gotta like think of like unique ways to get out of the conversation, and like is your like if they like really looked under the hood, they're like, "Is your friend okay?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, totally fine. He fell in manure or something, you know." Like,
Yeah. Hello, Navarre. Thank you for following us. Much appreciated.
Thinking about
thanks, Richard.
like muscle wizards and characters that mechanically probably won't work. I wonder if it would be funny to do like a one shot where it's the worst adventuring party ever, and it's just players picking classes and subclasses and mixing them, or changing their stats in a way where they're just awful at their jobs. Like
like a replacements type scenario.
yeah,
With adventurers.
like a group of people that always wanted to be adventurers since they were little kids in the village, but they all are just not good.
They're like
Their stuff doesn't work. They're using the wrong things.
It's amazing.
they're like, "Oh, sorry, the top tier adventurers and the B tier adventurers are out of town, so you got us."
That'd be a fun concept. It'd be a fun concept.
I think it would only work for a one shot because I could not imagine trying to do a campaign that way. But
Yeah, that'd be rough.
Okay. So on to my actual pick. I asked the chat, should I share the art of this character now or wait till you hear a little bit more about him? Because I have art. It went all the way to the art phase.
Let's keep us
I
in
vote for
suspense
the
a little
latter.
bit.
Yeah, I
All
vote
right.
for the latter.
Suspense. So I'd like to introduce you all to my character known as Jean-Pierre, who was, or I guess I say who was never, he never got to exist, was a Harengon Gloomstalker Ranger. And this was before they were Harengon, before they were published. This is when they were still Rabbit Folk in the UA, which I liked better. It just sounds better. I don't like the pun Harengon type thing. But he was a folk hero. I was gonna have him be proficient with painter's supplies. They were going to do a lot of like painting and art to kind of escape some of their troubles and stuff. And a couple of ideas for the character, and this was going to be in a campaign, and Zeus and I talked extensively about Jean-Pierre, but didn't get a chance to get in the campaign. But there are a couple ideas that were formulated. Is that they were originally like part of what's called the Dark Hunt for the Unseelie Court in the Feywild, and they broke away from this Dark Hunt and was on the run. And the reason why they weren't in the Feywild anymore is because they're a ranger, they can't get lost unless they're magically lost. So they got magically lost in the Feywild trying to escape, ended up in the campaign setting, and from there. It was kind of a loose like amalgamation. It wasn't fully formed yet. But basically they found out that like the Dark Hunt will have like a quarry that they have to go after. And it got to the point where Jean-Pierre knew personally this quarry and didn't want to do the bad guy stuff. So they tried to break away. That's how they got magically lost, to avoid them following him so he could actually, try and evade them. So that was kind of his concept, and there's a couple of other things that were kind of nebulous around there of like how to introduce these things and what they were going to do in like the campaign. Like, were they trying to go back? Were they trying to like save this person from getting, ate up by the baddies? So that was kind of the original concept. As far as like mechanics, for them, they were going to be Gloomstalker, but they're going to be melee Gloomstalker. So some short swords, basic leather armor, and that kind of stuff. I just like the idea of the character and kind of the thoughts of like what they looked like in my head and like what they were about, because I'd never really delved heavily into any of like Feywild type stuff like for a character at that point. I thought they had like a lot of cool opportunities to bring in some of that stuff, and it was exciting because that's when they had like, ooh, a new UA. Oh, there's little rabbit dudes. Awesome. Let's try that out. And I'll paste the image so you two can see it, and then I'll show chat real quick because there we go. So then Bun, my lovely wife, was like, oh, I will draw him for you. And let me get this art up so y'all can see. Oh, this is right.
Yeah,
damn.
Look at that little boy right there.
Suave.
That guy's badass.
I know,
Hell yeah.
right? It's just one of those things like, oh, I wish I could have played him. And there's kind of like some of the baddies going after him in the Feywild. But yeah.
Dang, that's fantastic.
Yes, Zeus, it was for the Ranger game.
Bun.
Yeah, I know. And Bun was like, I got
One
this.
hell of a concept.
Mm-hmm. And his it was funny because one of his sword has kind of like a lucky rabbit's foot on it. Which doesn't really make sense for him to have, but
fucked up.
It was his bro. He's trying to remember.
I know. He's trying to remember his bro, He's not going to weaken at Bernie's him, but he'll do the best he can.
Next campaign that you're not the DM, we got to do my Weekends at Bernie Necromancer, and you got to play your rabbit folk
little
guy.
Jean-Pierre. I just love his little hat. Like, I just love the style, because I was telling Bun about it, and she's like, I got this, Max.
He's
I'll
almost
take care of it.
like a Zorro or like a Three Musketeers vibe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And his name's Jean-Pierre.
I know, it's
right.
basic. I was gonna go full on French accent too, because
I was
why
just
not?
about to ask, is he gonna have an accent?
My original concepts were like a very Southern accent or a very French accent, and then I was like, oh, Jean Pierre is a cool name. All right, we're gonna go that direction.
Cajun, best of both worlds.
I don't know if I can pull that off, man. Like
That'd
to
be
be
hard.
honest, I
That'd be
don't.
hard.
I don't know. That's one of the ones that I
Yeah.
really haven't tried or tested or
I
That
have,
was
or
tough. That was
practiced.
really tough.
I would have no idea how to do that.
I would just end up saying like Mon Ami a whole lot, like Gambit from the X-Men cartoons. That's all I would be saying over and over.
Like, man, he really likes that one phrase.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, that's amazing. Actually.
Yeah. So super cool art. I was very excited to play Jean Pierre, but didn't continue in that campaign. So he's very fondly in my memory. I got so disappointed at one point. I deleted his character sheet from D&D Beyond. I regret it. I regret doing that.
Oh man.
But I was just like, oh, and I like cleaned up all my characters with like characters I wasn't gonna play anymore, and deleted them all. And I'm like, man, why did I do that? Because I can have an infinite amount of characters on D&D Beyond because the subscription, but that's okay.
Yeah.
He was gonna be a good little rabbit boy.
On the subject of Faye, Max knows this. For this campaign, I was toying with the idea of doing an Eladrin for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but it was going to be an Eladrin cleric,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think I scrapped it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was because of the campaign setting. I thought it might have been too hard to try and like make a good enough backstory for why he's in this area being a Fae. Because our party hasn't encountered any Fae that I know of, except for the one Eladrin in the library, right? Or they were an Eladrin, right?
And
We don't have to discuss it.
Yeah. I think they were just elf. If I'm not mistaken.
they were just an elf?
I'll have to look back at my notes. I'm not prepared for that.
But I was like, I couldn't really settle on what type of cleric they would be. But I do like Eladrin,
Mhm.
and I think if I did end up making a shit wizard, they would probably be an Eladrin.
Yep.
So
Yep. You also had a concept for a fighter too.
I did actually.
Mm-hmm.
It was gonna be what was it, a Goliath fighter?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a dual wielding fighter.
Yeah.
I think Echo Knight.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that would have fit in for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, we
And I
had
kinda-
specific information that the players don't have currently of why that would fit in. So
Yeah.
Oh,
places
That-
places y'all haven't been, but that's for the other show. But
Yeah. But then I came up with the concept of Hayden, and I was like, I think I might have more fun with a rogue in this.
yeah,
So
that is true. But yeah, I
I
think
hope to
all
play an
neat.
Eladrin.
Just hey, I mean, just yeah, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Whatever y'all want to play, you can play. But I also told you that, for New Game Plus, one of your characters dies and you can just play a Pingani. Why wouldn't you? Right? I'll give
True.
you the secrets of the universe to them.
So if it's New Game Plus, do we keep all the gear and treasures and all that stuff?
Well, New Game Plus is in you'll magically come in at the same level as everyone else. You don't have to catch up.
Oh well,
Mm.
yeah.
and some things to make you at least not far behind. But
Yeah.
Anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, I think that's a good topic of like characters that haven't seen the light of day. I'd be interested to hear about any of you all in chat or those of you listening. If you have any characters that you really wanted to play, we can talk about it here. You can throw it in the Discord. I'd love to read about them. Tell us
Put
all
it in
about 'em.
comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a backup character for you, Max, for one of the one shots. As I was on standby, so I made an old man wizard.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Harold.
Oh yeah,
Do I still?
we did have backups.
Yeah, because Max like, hey, just this coming in hot, but if you can make a backup character just in case, and I'm like, boom, done, wizard.
That was a different one shot where we weren't sure someone could make it, right?
Yeah.
That was
and then
that was in the in between campaign 1 and 2.
No, yeah, and then they fortunately showed up. I was like, oh man, I hope
Mhm.
them old man wizard.
We also had backups for one of the recent one shots because we had
Yes.
the thing where somebody in chat could like just decide our adventure would just stop, and we would have to bring in a
Yeah.
new character.
That was the charity stream for the MS Society, which I
Yeah.
have to edit that too. Like my editing schedule is so streamlined that if I have other stuff, it just sits in the stack because I barely get the stuff done that I need to. Hopefully that'll be changing soon, but yeah, that where y'all had backup characters because people could pay enough money to just end your current character.
Yeah.
And I'll say what's funny
That's right.
is y'all were like, oh, so many things happened in the one shot last time for Obsidian. There were all kinds of sprinkly spoiler stuff in that one. The other one shot
I
too.
caught
yeah.
on to
Oh yeah.
VS, the player, is holding on to some knowledge from that.
Good.
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
us as players, you could see our reaction on stream once Max has it edited and uploaded. Like we're like, what? Like there's lots of juicy lore bits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was that moment on the episode afterwards where your characters found out what you were investigating, and you were investigating the thing that you did in the one shot. I won't go any deeper than that, but yeah, I love that concept. It was so much fun.
It really was. Yeah,
it was so much fun. But yeah, anyway, I'll say like great topic from you, Moobs. If anyone has any topics that they want to talk about, throw them in our Discord, discord.gg/casters and cantrips. It'll get you right to it. Put in the comments, tell us about your characters, tell us about your favorite character that you didn't get a chance to play, so at least they'll live on somewhere other than your brain, and then maybe you can maybe you'll get lucky and bring them into a universe later on. So
and we for more reasons to follow us on other platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, we released a short today with Captain E-Rock.
Yes,
that's been sitting in the bank, and I laugh at it every time, and I'm the one who edited it.
It's a good one. So Boobs sent me, he's like, hey, I uploaded some shorts, and here I put this one out, and I watched it. I go, I'm uploading it right now. I'm not saving. I'm not saving it. It's going now. Immediately. So I saw it. I was like, it's immediately going down the pipe. So TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Twitter, Instagram, all Casters and Cantrips, where you can find it. You can go take a look at it, and it's quite hilarious. And that was when Captain E-Rock came to be a guest with us, so it's good stuff.
Yep, his character's still out there somewhere, right?
Retired.
Yeah. He's kicking about somewhere.
Former adventurer / pirate.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining and hanging out with us. And reach out to us outside the stream. Tell us about your characters. Give us your burning questions you want answered about D&D in general. But we'll see you all next time. Bye everybody.
Bye.